Good morning. If you want to see how we built this nice little old-timey Carpenter's toolbox, stay tuned because that's what we're going to do today. I used to have an old-timey toolbox, but my wife liked it so much she stole it from me. Good morning and welcome to another Memphis Monday. Memphis Monday 229, the 21st video of year number 5. Yes, about a week ago, our last video in Memphis Monday 228, we fixed some doors on a shed. Well, anyway, I carried my tools over there in a plastic container. Well, that's unsatisfactory. I need one of those old-timey Carpenter's toolboxes. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're not going to get anything done unless we do what? That's right. We need to knock off that chit-chat and get to work. Maybe this is what everybody does, but every time I go on a job off-site, and out of the shop, I end up taking one of these plastic containers with me. I end up taking one of these plastic containers with me, and this becomes my job box. That's kind of unsatisfactory, isn't it? Well, that old-timey toolbox we just looked at there was designed like this, straight up and down sides. Our ends, and then the sides were angled at some degree. This is the conventional kind of design, no frills, an honest design. Well, I think we're going to kick it up a notch. We're not going to make it too extreme, but we are going to slope the ends, and that will produce these splayed angles in the corner. And we're going to install a curved handle. And I want to keep this thing legit, so I'm trying to justify why I'm going to do that. And if I think of something, I'll let you know. Here's the glue up for the bent handle. I'll go ahead and take these clamps off, and we'll take a look at this. Take a look at this glue up. Now there's a stock for our handle. Let's see how much it springs back when I take these screws out. Not a whole lot. Oh, but it's still glued to the table. Now what I'm going to do is take this, and the slope on my sides I want to be perpendicular to this angle here, so the sides will be like that, look more natural. Let me go ahead and begin to shape this thing on the sander and see what kind of shape we're going to put it into. Can't really complain about that glue up. That is hard maple and oak laminated together. Well, let's round this thing over and make it into an oval. Now what I've done here is just taken the corners off of it so I have an octagon, and now I'm sanding those bevels down until I can make it into an oval. The handle turned out real good. I laminated with oak and hard maple, and when that's stained, that's going to look really good. Okay, now we're going to build a box or toolbox around this handle. I took that handle and made a full-size drawing. Do that on a small project like this, and the handle will fit right in there like that. Handles go in perpendicular. These are at 10 degrees, so they're coming straight out, straight in. So I'm going to have to cut holes here. The holes that go through here won't be at an angle. They'll be perpendicular to this, to the sides. I'm going to use 3/4 inch marine plywood for the ends and the bottom, and 1/4 inch oak plywood for the sides. Okay, let's go ahead and cut some stock. So, if you want the really accurate measurements, you can buy these large protractors. You can get them even bigger than this, and then you just put them down, and then you can pick your angle right off there because it's on a bigger scale. Before I cut this side out with a jigsaw or however I do it, I'm going to go ahead and put the 10-degree angle on the bottom of my wood because it'll be easier to do now than later. I'm going to glue these two pieces of plywood together because I want to put a solid bottom in it, and I want to use this marine plywood. Traditionally, in this situation, they would just put two separate boards in the bottom of the toolbox, but I want to practice my gluing skills by trying to glue two pieces of plywood together. I've done it before. It works pretty well. I'm going to set these things up in the pipe clamp. I didn't move the camera because I put the camera right in the way of the clamps. That wasn't real smart, was it? You can't wait a real long time on this glue once you put the dowels in, because those beach dowels swell up and you have a tough time. You can have a tough time sometimes getting them in because they've swollen up. Well, let's fire up old Thumpy here. I've had that crooked blade on there for about 6 months. Seems still's working, so. Got the ends done, or at least cut out. Now we need to put a hole through the top so the handle can fit through. All I did was trace the end profile of our handle in both, and then put a hole through, and then I'll feed that jigsaw blade or the scroll saw blade through there. I've got this little tiny blade. It's called a scroll saw blade for a jigsaw. I'm gonna put it in my jigsaw and see if it'll work. This is probably a better way to do it because I can test make sure I got this thing the right way. It's going to slope back like that. Okay, so it's the right side. It's probably a better way because I can walk it in. There we go. Got the handle all set up and everything seems to be working. I'll go ahead and route this and sand these sides up, or these ends up, while we're waiting for that bottom to dry. I don't think the glue's dry here, but we'll let it dry while we assemble it. What do you think? Well, I got the bottom roughed out. It's got 10-degree angle all the way around. It's going to be sitting on the bottom. I'm thinking about attaching it with dowels, but man, it's really looking good. Now, you guys don't be telling my wife about this now. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm thinking I'm going to put this thing together with glue and screws instead of dowels. I think dowels might soak up water since this is on the bottom. I got to remember to, when I put these screws in, they got to go up at a 10-degree angle. I'm pre-drilling with this countersink here. It's got a tapered drill bit, and it makes a tapered hole, just perfect for screws. These boxes are traditionally put together with nails. These are hot dip galvanized 1.5 inch nails. They're joist hanger nails. Got all those nails in. This stain is a mix of several different colors. This thing turned out so good that I wish I'd have made it out of better wood now. I'm gonna go ahead and put a coat of poly on it. I'll put spar urethane on it later. Well, there it is, our Carpenter's toolbox for Memphis Monday 229. Got the bent handle that's just lodged in there. Can't get it out, it's not connected, but you can't get it out. Got 10-degree sloping sides. It's made primarily of marine plywood. And we went ahead and I really like the design of it. I think if I ever build another one, I'll make it out of better wood though. But these things aren't supposed to be fancy. And I think if it is fancy, it actually takes away from it. I think the handle was right on the edge, about ready to jump the shark right there. But I don't think it's too gaudy. Well, that does it for another Memphis Monday. Memphis Monday 229, the 21st video of year 5. Our old-time Carpenter's toolbox. I really like the design. I'm not satisfied with the kind of wood we used. And I think it's a little bit too wide. I think when it's wide like that, it makes it harder to carry. I think that's the reason they're normally level or narrower. But see, those are the kinds of things you learn. And we put it together with the traditional nails instead of you know, some kind of different fasteners. We made it out of wood that we just found around the shop, which is another tradition of these things. But I think we had some good takeaways. We drew some full-scale plans and all that kind of stuff, which is really nice to have on a small project like this. All right, so like, favorite, comment, and all the stuff you do on the internet. Most important, what is it? Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for playing along.